Hey, and welcome back to Pints with Pals. And with us tonight is the pleasure, it's the wonderful, the one and only Mr. Michael Burke. Hello, Michael.
Who?
How are you?
Me? The hostess,
There you go.
the northernmost hostess.
Yes, there you go. Proper
host.
introduction.
So
So
what do we got
today,
tonight?
ladies and gentlemen, we are trying a blonde ale. And I got to read you this can intro because it's pretty fascinating. This is from Cougar Bait. It's American Blonde Ale, and it is any fisherman worth his salt will tell you it's all about the bait. Lucky for you, you are holding the good stuff. An American Blonde Ale, clean and crisp. Cougar Bait is sure to help you catch your whatever you're fishing for. All right, so I have a bucket to catch this thing that explodes because I'm tired of cleaning my mouse pads.
Mine's not even got any head at all.
Oh, I had a hit, so that's good.
This cougar bait isn't working very well. I got no head. And for all our
Not too
youthful listeners, smells
Well,
good.
this is not a PG podcast. You gotta get 21 to drink.
So, and now I can't remember, but we went to this country boy
We
brewing.
did. Yep.
So this was one of the ones I was excited for to take home also because we got it.
Yes. That's what
this
you
one
have
was-
there.
Yeah, this one was canned on 6/6/2024.
Yeah, it's fine.
It comes in at 4.9% ABV, which I think is a little on the high end for a blonde ale. That's the far end of a blonde ale.
Well, actually, 5.5 is the high end
Oh, really?
according to the guidelines. Yeah, I thought it was like 5.2 or something like that. That's 5.5. Yeah, yours
This
is
is a-
definitely. Well, maybe it's just your camera. Yours looks milky compared to mine.
Yeah.
I can see myself through mine a little bit.
I can't. No. I don't know if it's cold haze or what. But,
Yeah, it could be. So, a blonde ale is an American beer style. Did you know that?
I didn't actually.
Yeah. So it started off in some like microbreweries and brew pubs, stuff like that. And I'm not sure why it came about, but it's supposed to be between like a lager and a pale ale. So it's hoppier than a lager, but not as hoppy as a pale ale. I think that's why a lot of people kind of like blonde ales overall, because you get a little bit of hop, but it's not like too powerful, or you're like, oh, I don't like it. So, yeah. Nah.
I don't know. The smells were good, but the head retention being absolutely zero on mine.
Mine's lingering.
The smell after the head is gone is completely missing.
We'll swirl around a little bit and see. Actually, you're not getting any carbonation, really, are you?
No, so I
'Cause,
think
like,
mine
let's-
might have gone off a little bit.
So when I swirl mine, like, see, I get mine, get the carbonation comes back a little bit.
Yeah,
Not
no,
carbonation, but yeah, it's slightly malty, maybe caramel.
it's definitely sweeter
A hint.
than a lot of the
yeah.
blonde ales I've had before. I feel like the blonde ales tend to be like a smidge more bitter, I guess. I don't know if it's hoppy necessarily, but they usually have a bitter flavor. This has more of a sweet flavor. And that might, I guess, be some of the reasons it's a higher ABV. But
Yeah, but it's not far from character either. Like, there's multi sweetness is definitely one of the characteristics. Do you know which other blonde ales that you're thinking of?
no, I mean, just when I go to a
Just in
brewery,
general.
I
Gotcha.
typically, because it's the blonde ale is depending on the brewery, but that's basically the lightest beer that they have because they potentially can't do lagers or anything like that. So they don't have, I mean, now the technology is advanced enough that even small breweries can start doing or can start lagering based with the new technology that's out there versus like just having a giant walk-in freezer essentially that's temperature controlled. But the glycol chillers and all the other kind of stuff that they have
Right.
to do it with, that you can do any style you want for beer, which might be why like places like Leinenkugel's and other major breweries are kind of shutting down, because it's like, well, people aren't going out drinking, and B, they're not if they are, they're buying like Pabst Blue Ribbon and stuff that's like super cheap beer instead of like fancy good beer. And now other breweries tend to, or are starting to get into like Hellas's and lagers of that same quality, essentially, or lack thereof, I guess.
Yeah, oh, no, you're not wrong. I mean, there's definitely a downward trend when it comes to the younger generation. Like the newly 21-year-olds to 30-year-olds, they're not drinking as much as like when we were 21 to 30, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But like you said, I mean, it's definitely causing a downward spiral for some of the brew houses out there, and even all brewing is kind of taking a dip for it as well too. Some old school home brewers will tell you the reason why they got into a brewery was to make the styles they couldn't buy. Right. There wasn't imported to the United States, but you can go places like Total Wine and More. That one place we went to up in Kentucky, I can't think what it's called right now, but another like a variant of Total Wine and More. I have Libation Station here, which is granted it's just a single store, but they bring in all sorts of imports from around the world. But I want to get back to the blonde ale itself. So I had one from a local brewery up in Kingsport, which is like 45 minutes away from me, that was made with Simcoe hops. That was phenomenal because Simcoe hops gives you like a sweet fruit kind of flavor to it. On top of it, oh, it was so good, so good. So I just wanted to bring that up.
I'm not picking up a ton of like. There's no real citrus to this. The sweetness is just like a sugary sweetness, and not like a confection sugar sweetness, not like a fruit or a citrus or anything like that.
It's a good all rounder, I would say. I mean, it's something you can drink any time of the year. Nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think mine is flat too. So I'm not going to give it necessarily my rating has an asterisk because I loved it in the brewery. I think I had a few of them. I tried to get my money's worth.
I think that was our first place we went to, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think so. So I have an issue when the breweries start like making up really like, I don't want to say vulgar, but like just I don't want to go up and ask for cougar bait. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah,
it's not as bad as that cider we went to that you wanted me to order.
Sir
that cider.
Lushington.
No, it was like yeah bitch or Yas bitch or something like that, or Yas queen. I don't know what it was.
Yas queen. Yeah, I remember now. But that's the thing is like, okay, well, I would like some of that, and I'm just like, talking about my wife's like, hey, can you order me one of these ciders? It looks delicious, and then it comes and it's like bright pink, and I'm like, I can make some cherry cider that isn't bright pink. I'm like, all right, whatever. But,
yeah. Some I understand some of the names can be a little off-putting.
I think this is a cute play on like the whole thing, but it. The funny thing is, it's got like a really old guy on like the cover art or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's holding like a little fishing pole.
Right. I'm like, well, that's not who Cougars are going after. Like their demographic for this, I guess, would be like, I don't even know what the demographic would be like, 20 somethings, or maybe they're actually going after the 45 to 50-year-old women that I don't know. Sorry, I won't
Unless
speculate.
maybe his, or we don't have to go down that route. Maybe his name is Cougar.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
As like his nickname.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
the description. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was pretty clever.
Yeah, I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give it 4 1/4. I really enjoy it. I know it's a lot higher than what you're gonna say. You probably give like 2 and
mine's
7/10.
a 3. I don't know. It's like mine needs to have an asterisk because I liked it in the store or in the brewery. So like I'm gonna say, from what I remember, I'm gonna give it about a 3.9.
Okay. I
But
mean,
this
I
one,
don't
I
know if I
think.
should give it.
Well, this is 6 months old, 7 months old, and I think that.
It still should be fine, though, really. I mean, a lot of this stuff should last a year.
Well, I mean, who knows what happened? But there's like literally no.
Yeah,
There's
yours is
no.
weird.
There's no fizz.
Yeah, I still have. What's still going on?
Yeah. Yeah. So it could have been my
Can you
cup or
get
something.
this up there?
No.
Okay, so I can get Country Boy here. Only a few of them though. So when we were there, man, they had like at least 20 on the board, and a bunch in the cooler. I've not seen that many in this region, so I think it's just a hot sellers. Like I've seen Cougar Bait here. I've seen they have a milk chocolate stout that's really really good. It's definitely a dessert beer for sure. Yeah, it's pretty good beer. It was a small hole in the wall, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a big
almost
place at
everything we
all.
went to down there was basically a little tiny hole in the wall. It felt like anyway.
True. No, there's no. I think you're right. I think that one we went to back twice, where we played darts at, that was like the biggest place, but we were the only ones there.
It's like we had to walk like around the block to get another beer. They forgot we were there. They closed down.
Yeah. Had to stay the night. It was cold. We had to cuddle. Anyways,
Have you made a blonde ale yet?
no, it's on my list. It really, really is. It always has been. I just lost all my notes. But
Sorry.
yeah, it's definitely on my list of things to do. But since I had that Simcoe one, I've kind of changed mine up to use Simcoe. Mm-hmm.
So would it be the would it be the recipe that you're sharing here, or are you keeping that one separate? Oh, okay.
No, that's gonna be this one I'm sharing right here. Yeah. So this is pretty simple, an easy recipe. So 9 pounds of tuber. You get about 8 ounces of crystal malt, but I did this just to add some caramel biscuit flavor to it, kind of like what is described in the BJCP guidelines. For boil, I'd use 1 ounce of Simcoe, and then a half an ounce of Flame Out because I really want to get that aroma, kind of punch you in the face a little bit. And then I would throw in a clarifier because I definitely want to clear as this at least, maybe a little clear if I could. And then yeast, I have no idea what yeast I want to use yet. So this is where because it can be kind of like a cliffhanger because I've not done that yet, but I'm not sure. I've kicked around a couple different ones. Like I thought about just going like the S04, which is like an English style yeast that would leave a lot of the residual sweetness behind, or should leave some of the sweetness behind. But it may be really sweet to begin with. Maybe want to use a US05 to dry it up a little bit, or I could even use a Kvike yeast just to turn it really quick. There's so many different options that you can do. I don't think any yeast you go with would probably be fine for the most part, except for lagering.
Well, even then, as long as you did it correctly, I bet it would taste okay. Well, just lager, it just tastes like a lager.
Yeah,
There's
I don't want that.
I mean, I feel like the yeast and the hops are the most important characteristics. So like, and that would change the flavor profile of it drastically depending on what you're doing with it. Because so that's what I'm kind of struggling with right now. Is I have I washed and cleaned, or I cleaned the yeast from my last Kolsch, and I'm wondering what else to make with it. But I'm worried that Kolsch yeast is going to impart so much Kolsch flavor that no matter what I do, like, so if I did this and then added the Kolsch yeast to it, I feel like it would just taste like the Kolsch because it's not that much different. Other than a Simcoe, you swap Simcoe for Saaz hops and you have a Kolsch, or at least the Kolsch that I made. So, I don't know.
Exactly.
I wish that there were any homebrew clubs open near me so that I could like smell the different hops and like get like a variety. And I wish I had jumped on that closeout sale that you had and just grabbed a whole bunch of them that at like pennies on the dollar.
Well, it was dirt freaking cheap.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, my Kolsch I was dealing with, I forgot about it and overpressurized it. I left it on at like 20 psi for like a week, thinking that I had it plugged into the normal one that was at like the serving pressure. And then I got back and I'm like, why is this so foamy? And then I like traced the line. I was like, oh no, like this is the wrong one. So really
after you
upset.
purged the keg, did it fix itself, or?
I've been purging it. I've left it off CO2 for about a week and then purge it every time I go get water. Yeah. And it seems to have cooled down.
Okay.
But I think it's still a little overpressured. It sucks.
Well,
You live, you learn.
but does it taste good though?
It tastes phenomenal. It does not have any of the skunk,
There you go.
not skunk smell, but like a,
It's like sulfur.
yeah, like it's like a mild rotten egg. It's like somebody farted at like 4 tables away from you and you're like, something doesn't smell right. That's
What's
what
that mean? Did I do that again?
Yeah, did I do that?
Did I just ghost myself again? So, not to change the subject too much, but I did brew a pinter beer. So that little contraption that I bought for like $50. So I got the triple IPA in the freezer, not freezer, but the keezer cold crashing right now. So hopefully, a Sunday maybe I'll tap it and see what it tastes like. I don't have high hopes. Yeah, because the sound sucked. It was horrible.
Yeah, we didn't get any comments. Oh no, we haven't even released that video yet, so we'll find out later. I think you should probably release them in between the episodes, and I think that'll probably be fine. Like, he's done a really, really good basically breakdown of it, and I think it was interesting to me, and I had seen them, and I think that they're a good way to kind of get people interested in the hobby.
It'd be a good gift.
Unfortunately, though, I feel like it doesn't produce good enough beer to kind of keep you into the hobby. So it's a fun gift for somebody that's maybe in like an apartment or something, and because you could potentially because it's all in one, but you could potentially brew in something else and then like pour it into there to ferment and do all that kind of stuff, as long as you got the amounts correct. Because it's a no boil beer, isn't it?
Well, they're correct. You just add water. It's just malt extract. They make the beer, then they reduce the beer to syrup, and then you just add water back to it to make beer. You throw in the yeast and all that kind of stuff, or wort rather. So More Beer makes a flash brew kit, I think is what it's called. And I wouldn't mind trying one of those. And the only reason why I don't want to do one of those because it's 5 gallons. I don't want to do 5 gallons of a beer. I'd rather if they had like a 3 gallon, I'd definitely try it out. But that's just dry malt extract for the most part of the beer, and then you just add it in, and there's no boil, there's no, you kind of do it with the same with this. You throw it in your fermenter, you let it sit for a week or two, and boom, you got beer. Some people say it's pretty good. Some people say it's okay.
How does it release the pressure?
The thing I have?
Yeah.
So it has a built-in spunding valve.
Oh, does it? Is it set to a certain pressure, or is it just like 1 psi to?
I couldn't figure out.
Oh, it has to be a certain pressure because it's coming out carbonated.
Yes. But I don't know what the max is set to. You have 0 to 5, 5 being the max, but it doesn't say like 5 is 15 psi or whatever. I have no idea what it is.
So how does it I shouldn't probably not ask these questions, but how does it continuously dispense the beer if there's no CO2 cartridge?
With just all the pressure in there and gravity, because it's so far down on the barrel. Yeah. So I'm willing to bet your last pint or two are probably going to be semi-flat. Yeah, and it's very tricky to pour too. You have to find the sweet spot to pour it, because if not, it will just blast straight out. It's all the pressure.
All right, you're not selling it on me anymore.
No, I ain't selling it. I'm just telling you all the stuff that I dealt with.
Yeah, I mean it's a cautionary tale, right? Like, buy at your own risk, and at least you paid for it with your own money. It's not like you got it free. You owe that company nothing. If you can offer them advice and to fix things, then like this is what I would do. Like, I would say, in my opinion, I feel like it's cheap and easy enough to like just get one of those like there's food safe like CO2 cartridges like for a for like a soda
Party
stream
keg.
type deal or whatever.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And I would say, or even a soda stream, like, and I would just like work that in somehow, like have like a thing where you just screw it in off to the side, and when it's in your fridge or whatever it is, then it'll actually be under pressure, and then you can dial it all in, and then you don't have to worry about the spunding valve and all that kind of crap. But I don't know,
Still
mass
needs to know
market.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, I want to say thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Please drink responsibly. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord. Ask questions. Give us ideas of what to drink for season 5. I think we have the first, maybe 5-6 episodes planned out, but that's about it right now. So, but until then, cheers.
Cheers.